It's the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia, with your host, Bob Snap.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia. Appreciate you being here. Today's video, this was actually sent to me on my Facebook page by Thomas. I don't give his last name, but appreciate this, Thomas. I found this really interesting and kind of hard to take. But this is kind of the last day, what happened on the last day of filming of the Andy Griffith Show, and how it really wasn't that big a celebration. On the final day of filming the Andy Griffith Show in 1968, the atmosphere on the set was far from celebratory. Andy Griffith, usually composed and warm in front of the camera, quietly stepped away from the soundstage once the last scene wrapped. According to crew members who were present, he walked down the familiar corridor at Desilu Studios, turned a corner, and disappeared behind a row of trailers. Moments later, someone heard soft sobs. Griffith had broken down in private, overwhelmed by the weight of saying goodbye to a show that had defined nearly a decade of his life. For 8 seasons, he had played Sheriff Andy Taylor, the calm and wise father figure of Mayberry, but the relationships that developed behind the scenes had grown even deeper than those written into the scripts. Don Knotts, who portrayed the high-strung Barney Fife, had departed the show after 5 seasons, but he returned occasionally and maintained a close bond with Griffith. Ron Howard, who played Opie, later recalled how Griffith became a real-life mentor. Francis Bavier, George Lindsay, and the rest of the cast had become like extended family members. Griffith's emotional connection to them was rooted not in fiction, but in shared years of long working days, laughter between takes, and the rare honesty that can exist when people create something meaningful together. The moment that triggered his tears, was not a scene, but the silence that followed the final cut. The absence of movement on the set, the way everyone slowly lowered their scripts and avoided eye contact, created an emotional vacuum. Jack Dotson, who played Howard Sprague, once shared that nobody wanted to be the first to speak. It was as if Andy had given us permission to feel and then took it all with him when he walked off, he said in a 1993 interview with TV Guide. That day, Griffith's dressing room remained closed for nearly an hour. Only his longtime friend and manager, Richard Link, approached, quietly placing a hand on the door but choosing not to knock. When Griffith finally returned to the stage, his eyes were red, but he carried himself with grace. Without saying much, he moved from one cast member to the next, hugging each tightly. According to Ron Howard, who was just 14 at the time, Griffith held on him longest. He whispered, "You're going to be all right. You've got it in you." That meant more than anything, Howard shared years later in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. Griffith had been hesitant about ending the show, but he knew the chemistry was changing. Don Knotts had taken on film roles. Ron Howard was beginning to outgrow the Opie character, and the tone of the television itself was shifting. In later years, he admitted in an interview with the Charlotte Observer that part of his breakdown stemmed from the fear that nothing else he did would carry the same heart. I don't know if I'd ever get to feel that kind of honesty and warmth again, not just in front of a camera, but in life. After the wrap, the cast and crew gathered for a quiet dinner at a local studio-adjacent restaurant. There were no speeches, no formal farewells. Andy Griffith kept a handkerchief in his hand the entire evening. George Lindsay would later say, "I think he was still crying on the inside. We all were. But it was his pain that showed us how much it all meant." The next morning, Griffith did not return to the studio. He called Richard Link from his home in Toluca Lake and asked him to collect the last few items from his dressing room. He could not face the empty space. That call, according to Link, was the true end. When a show gives people a home, ending it does not feel like a closing chapter. It feels like walking away from a town where every soul mattered. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I have no idea who wrote this, but pure poetry. Pure poetry, and they described it so well that it gets you in the feels, you know. And it was just I can only imagine. I can't even imagine how that would feel. I just kind of makes me wonder if Don Knotts had stuck around and how much worse it would have been. Because Don had a hard time walking away after 5 years. Can you imagine after 8? All I got for you guys. Please don't forget to check out classic rural comedies, facts, and trivia. As soon as I find it here, It's on Opie, Ron Howard, and how he admitted that at times that he pretended the Andy Griffith Show didn't exist. And if you watch this, you'll understand why. Classic TV facts and trivia. Well, why did Judy Winslow disappear from Family Matters? The youngest daughter just poof, did a Chuck Cunningham. And what happened to her afterwards is kind of really sad as well. Classic rock country music facts and trivia. You know the song Wagon Wheel? A huge, huge hit, has been for a long time. It's crazy. It was originally an unfinished Bob Dylan song in the 1970s. This I did not know until now. And Faith and Entertainment, Forrest Gump actor Gary Sinise said he would make a Hollywood comeback if these conditions are right. And it's a lot about his family and stuff. This man is a real family man, a true father, a true grandfather, a true husband. This is a really good one. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please like this video. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day. God bless you. I'm praying for you.